In life, everyone has questions they hate being asked. You know, you go to a party or some function and some schlep comes up to you and asks you some question that just makes you lose the will to live. Our etiquette expert, Lady Danielle Di-Masi, joins us now. Thank you for coming in again.
I love it.
There are questions, and we all know what they are. I mean, you've chosen the 5 questions, you know, yourself that you think are the most loathsome. What are you going to do with your life? You know, those hideous open answer. I mean, people haven't got a right to ask you that question. No. Why don't you have a boyfriend? Why don't you have a girlfriend?
Yes.
When are you getting married? Why haven't you had a baby yet? Why haven't you retired? Who asks these questions?
Everybody. What's happening is, I think, in situations where we might be meeting new people or seeing people that we, haven't seen for a little while, we get a little bit nervous, and some people haven't quite mastered the art of communication. And
is it laziness? Do you think?
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
Sometimes people just go and they just can't be bothered, so they stop talking about the weather.
Yes.
And then they ask one of these other inane personal questions.
It is quite just a tiny bit of a step up from asking about the weather, but it just is lazy. Or they just sort of get a little bit anxious and want to fill that space, and they ask the first thing that comes into their mind. But although we all hate these questions, we've probably all been in the situation where we've asked the questions. They're on a great, as far as strategy is concerned and meeting people, talking with people, they're on the right path where to build rapport with someone, asking questions about them
the other person
is a perfect way to do that. They are the wrong questions. So all you need to do is kind of change the questions around so it evokes good feelings, because the problem with asking someone about when are you two getting married, they might have had that fight that morning. When are we getting married, so forth, or about the
You're really
babies.
putting people on the spot there,
Absolutely.
aren't you? Well, especially given that these are probably people that you haven't met before or you don't know them very well, which is why you have. And the funny thing is, there'll be people watching now who will say, I hate being asked those questions.
And we'll
probably,
ask
if they're honest, will be asking them questions themselves. So what's a different way that you can talk to someone to replace a question like, when are you getting married, or when are you going to have kids?
Excellent question. So replace it with something that will evoke good feelings. For instance, if it's a couple, instead of saying, when are you going to walk down the aisle, ask them, so tell me about when you met, because that's going to create a nice feeling between them. And if you can create nice feelings and make them like really smile, then you're going to be able to connect with them even more. And then you go on to talk about other things. Or circumstantial questions, like if you're at a wedding, how do you know the couple?
See, that's a good one. You're at a wedding, you're sitting at a table, they've put you next to someone, the only thing you know is the little napkin sign, and you say to them, how do you know the...
Absolutely.
Which is quite open-ended, it's not offensive, isn't it?
Absolutely, and allow them to elaborate.
I'm sitting here thinking, thank God I never go to weddings, because I just hate situations like that.
Oh, is that why you don't go to weddings?
Idiots, aren't they? The other thing people have to know is there is an obligation on you if you go to something like that to actually make an effort, isn't there?
Absolutely. And again, asking questions is a great way to do it. The perfect example is what are you going to do with your life, especially if you're talking to a teen or a younger student and so forth. They might not know, and it might be a lot of stress, or there might be a bit of push-pull happening in their family. Again, that might evoke bad feelings. So asking them, oh, you're still in school, what's your favourite subject? Because then they might be like, oh, science. And then you can engage them, be like, I loved science.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
it'll be
really just engaging.
It'll be much more entertaining for yourself and for the other people.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's always good to come back.
That is a good lesson for everyone.
Excellent.